This clip of the Texas Bucket List is brought to you by Spirit of Texas Bank and Slovacek Sausage. Welcome back to the Texas Bucket List. Next up on the show, we head to San Antonio, home of the Alamo. But did you know that the Alamo City has way more than just one old mission? In fact, one of them still serves the purpose it did all those centuries ago when it was built. The only difference is now it has a little more native influence than the European one that built it. There's a spot in San Antonio that can take you back hundreds of years with the simple ringing of a bell tower. With the heavens still looking down upon it, Mission San Jose is known as the Queen of the Missions. Founded in 1720, the mission provides an integral part of Texas history.
I call us the prequel to the Alamo because we cover the 100 years prior to the battle.
Tatum Weeks is a park ranger with the National Park Service and has worked at Mission San Jose for 5 years. She has one rule.
Don't touch anything, don't climb on anything.
Easy enough. As you might be able to tell, Tatum is passionate about the mission, its history, and what it offers to the city of San Antonio.
We do have the largest concentration of Spanish colonial architecture within the United States.
And that brings in 2 million visitors a year, just to this mission built close to 300 years ago. During that time, Spanish explorers traveled north of the Rio Grande, building missions along the way to expand their territory.
Really, this is acculturation. That's what you would have seen here. You would have seen Spaniards leading the way and trying to turn these native people into good Spanish citizens.
But protecting their treasures was also high on the Spaniards' list.
The only reason they're really here in Texas is to keep the French out. The French have been working in from the east, from what is today Louisiana. And what the Spanish is really afraid is going to happen is that the French will finally just cross through Texas, push down into Mexico, and then take all the silver and gold.
Today, a true treasure can be found inside the Mission San Jose Church, especially if you show up, say, around noon on a Sunday. As a tribute to the culture and history of Mission San Jose, every Sunday you can participate in a mariachi mass. It combines faith with folk, making for an incredible experience inside the 290-year-old church.
It is truly a wonderful experience for not just for the people, but for myself, who is the presider at the mass. So yeah, lot of fun.
It's a little bit of the old world here.
Father Tony Posadas has been at Mission San Jose for 6 years, and the assignment is a dream for the native Texan that grew up in San Antonio.
It is in many ways truly a treasure. To get up in the morning and open this church is itself a blessing.
And those blessings are bountiful, thanks to the strum of a guitar and the blow of a trumpet. Thanks to the serenading soundtrack, it seems the 12:30 Sunday Mass is pretty popular in these parts, especially for visitors.
Wow, they have a mass, and if they're Catholic, they'll stay. Even if they're not Catholic, they'll stay.
The Tejano tradition started back in the 70s as a way to get local music and local people back to the church.
How many churches can afford a pipe organ? Not many. And so to bring in the people who had musical skill in the parishes, no matter what culture, became a way of the more working class and poorer churches to bring what they loved and what they celebrated with out of the dance hall or the beer hall and into the church. So it was a way of making their lived experiences of joy part of the worship of the church.
While parts of the church have been restored, it's believed that 80% of it is still original. 100% of it is amazing, thanks to its incredible connection to Texas.
I always remember the words of John the 23rd. When they asked him what the church should be, he says, I was not put on this earth to take care of a museum. He goes, but of a garden of life. And so I always tell people that we're a mission, not a museum.
And the mission of the music is to move the masses. You see, as the music and the faith blend together, you start to see what our state is truly about. It's a culmination of incredible cultures that makes us one, that makes us Texans.
So you have the mariachi music, which itself is an amalgamation of the Polish and the Spanish and the Gypsy and all those, and the Native American rhythms, and then the mass is in English.
That's really what's important about these locations, is the cultural impact that they represent. They represent that European and Native identities coming together as one and creating this really unique place.
If you have to see one thing in Texas, this is one of them. This is where Texas began.